Whenever your friend mentions that they use a PC, you usually assume that they're talking about a Windows PC. And statistically speaking, you might be right to assume that Windows operating system is running on that PC. It can run games, you can do all the office work, you can perform graphic intensive tasks on Windows such as video editing and so on. But what if I tell you that you can perform most of these tasks on another operating system which not only cost you $0 like Windows, but it also does not require you to buy a $1,000 machine. Yes, I'm talking about Linux. But before you jump at me saying that Linux is for nerds and for coders and requires you to use a scary application called as terminal, I'm gonna stop you right there, as these are stereotypes of the past. You can perform most of the tasks, you can change most of the settings from the graphical user interface in modern Linux distributions. And I'm going to prove that to you by showing you a Linux distribution called as Ubuntu. Yes, there are several Linux distributions, but we are going to talk about Ubuntu in this video. Now I'm going to show you Ubuntu using a software called as VirtualBox, which is a virtual machine kind of software. Think of it as running another PC inside your PC, inside your current operating system. So if you're using Windows, you can just install VirtualBox and then try out different Linux distributions. And to download VirtualBox, you have to go to www.virtualbox.org, and from here you can download for the Windows host and usually run the exe installer. Once installed, you have to visit the ubuntu.com website, from which you will download an ISO file. Now since you are using a virtual machine, you don't have to burn it to a USB drive, USB thumbstick. Just download the ISO from the products and Ubuntu desktop page, and you can either download the Ubuntu 24.04.1 LTS or the 24.10 version of Ubuntu. LTS means long-term support. It will receive security updates for 5 years, and the normal 24.10 version will receive the security update for 9 months. So I'm going to download the 24.10 version, which is the latest version. 24 means 2024 and 10 means the month, 10th month of 2024. So click on the green button and the ISO will be downloaded. Now I have already downloaded this ISO file, so I don't have to do it again, but you can download the ISO file, and then let's get started. Once VirtualBox is open, you have to click on the new button, and from here you have to type the name of the virtual machine you are going to create. So for me it's going to be Ubuntu. Now select the ISO file, so it's in my downloads folder, and I have now selected my ISO file, which is 24.10. Now it automatically detects that I'm creating a virtual machine of Linux, and it is an Ubuntu 64-bit operating system. Since Ubuntu is the most widely used operating system based on Linux, they have made it easy for us to install it in a virtual machine. However, I'm going to show you how to install it properly. So I'm going to skip unattended installation and show you from the start. Just disable power saver. Yeah, there we go. So I have to create a virtual hard disk now. So I will recommend you at least 25 GB. However, I'm going to increase it to 30 GB, which will be ideal for Ubuntu. And it will create a virtual disk image or VDI where Ubuntu will be installed. And you also have to give it memory, which is RAM. So I'm going to increase it to 8 GB, which will be ideal for the GNOME desktop environment which Ubuntu uses. And I'm going to increase it to the CPU process to 6. And I'm going to finish. Now the virtual machine is created, however it is not installed. So let's first start the virtual machine and make it full screen. So here we have the option to try or install Ubuntu. Press enter. The machine is starting now. You can press escape to see what's going on in the background, and press escape again to go back to the loading screen. Okay. So you will be greeted with this screen when you first boot up the live image of Ubuntu. Just choose your language and click next, and you can change the accessibility settings from here. However, I don't need it, so I'm gonna click next. You can select your keyboard layout, which is ENUS, so fine for me. Just hit next. Since I'm using a virtual machine, it is automatically going to be a wired connection. Just hit next. And I'm going to first show you how Ubuntu looks. So I'm gonna try Ubuntu and later we will install Ubuntu from here. So this is Ubuntu and it is looking quite nice. As you can see, you can change dark and light settings from here. From the settings, you can see this is 24.10 and it detects my CPU correctly, and it, as we have allocated only 8 gigs of memory to this virtual machine, it detects that as well. And now we'll see, you can double click on the icon to install Ubuntu. Volume to 0, so next again, yes, keyboard layout is correct, yes, use wired. Now from here you can either select interactive installation or automated installation. So I'm going to just use the interactive installation, as I'm going to show you the full process of how to allocate disk space, etc. So it also recommends me to select applications. So you can just use the essential web browser or basic utility, or you can install fully fledged suite of software such as Office tools, utilities, and web browser. I'm going to use the default selection as it is going to be a faster, and whatever I need I can install later from the Ubuntu store. Yes, you most definitely need these drivers and codecs which will allow us to stream or play video and audio formats on our system. Just hit next. Since I am trying this out in a virtual machine, I'm going to erase this and install the operating system on the whole virtual disk. And but if you are doing this installation on a bare metal and you are trying to preserve your already installed Windows, then do not use this method. Use the manual installation method, which will preserve your Windows machine and all the data inside of it. If you click on the erase disk and install Ubuntu, the data will be deleted. Now just hit next. And your name, so I'm just going to enter LFD. My PC name will also be LFD. And you have to enter a strong and secure password for your PC. Do not forget this password, otherwise you won't be able to log into your PC. Now require my password to log in and use Active Directory. Leave that as it is. Just hit the next button. Now select your time zone. My time zone is getting directed correctly. It is Mumbai, Asia, Kolkata, but you can choose as well. Now this is the final step. You have to review your choices. Following things will be changed on your PC. When you are satisfied, click on the install button. This process can take a while as we have selected an online installation, so things will be copied from the ISO, as well as these will download updates for a few applications as well. So depending on your internet speed and your SSD speed, this process can take a while. That took about 10 minutes, and now this installer is asking me to restart my virtual machine, which I can simply do by clicking on the restart now button. So now the virtual machine will restart and it will boot directly into the Ubuntu. I have to press enter. So as you can see, my user is created, which is LFD. Now I have to type my password and then press enter to get the Ubuntu operating system. That sound is quite annoying on the first boot. So you will be greeted with the welcome screen of Ubuntu 24.10, and from where we have to select a few things. So no, I don't want to share my personal data. You can share the system data with the Ubuntu team, which will be great for the development purposes. However, I'll not do that. So next, you can install applications from here, but we'll do that later. Just click on the finish button. So this is 22.10 of Ubuntu. This is the file manager. You double click to open it, and this is your home. And if you want to install applications on Ubuntu, this is really simple. Just go to software. This is the Ubuntu App Center. And now you have to search for apps. So let's say I want to install Firefox, which let me check if it is installed or not. Okay, Firefox is installed. Let me search for Brave browser. So Brave pops up right here. So you can select the channel, which is latest, stable, and stable I will install. So click on the install button and enter your password, and this will install Brave on your PC. You can check out the photos and its description, as well as the license and version of the software which you are installing, and it is installed. So let me first, you can also see all the installed apps from here. And since Ubuntu is migrating to the new Snap architecture, most of the applications installed through here will be the Snap applications and not the APT. If you don't know what those terms means, don't worry, your system will function normally as it is. You don't have to worry about it. You can change the modes from here, and if you do not like the orange, you can just go to the settings and go to displays, go to appearance, and change the mode from here. So if you want, let's say, a blue color accent, you can change it to blue. It looks quite nice. And wallpapers are also here. Let's say I want this wallpaper instead of the default one. Let me close all of that, and as you can see, this looks quite nice. The folder color accent also changes to blue, which matches the desktop theme. You can have recent and all other settings from here, and you can customize your whole Ubuntu operating system from here. And this is the Brave browser which we installed earlier. I'm gonna set this as a default. Yes. Dark mode. Next. Maybe later. No, don't send the analytics. And this is the Brave browser, and you can browse your web normally. I think the Ubuntu team has done quite a lot of work shipping this version of Ubuntu. Let's check which version of GNOME this desktop is running. So I'm gonna go here and system details. So this is running the latest GNOME 47, which is not even shipped in Fedora yet. So you are enjoying the latest GNOME on Ubuntu 24.10. And yes, the question of terminal arises. If you do have to use the terminal, you can launch it from here, but this is really not necessary. You can do all of the work from the graphical user interface if you want to. However, let's say I want to update my system. You can do that easily by running this command, and I don't have to open any graphical applications, which usually take quite some time. I'm gonna enter my password next. So all my packages are up to date, so this does not update any. You can also game on this operating system using Steam, which uses the Proton compatibility layer to run Windows game on Linux. You can just install Steam from right here, and this will install Steam, and you can log in and enjoy all your games on Linux. It runs flawlessly thanks to the Proton compatibility layer. You don't have to do any extra work. Yes, some games might not work due to anti-cheat not being supported on Linux. Some developers do not support it, but some developers do. So it depends on the game which you are trying to run. Once Steam is installed, you can open it from right here. This will update Steam automatically and run it. Steam is right here. That took about 2 minutes of time, and you can now log into your account and enjoy your games on Linux. Make sure to check the Proton compatibility layer from the Steam settings. I have covered quite a lot of things on Ubuntu on the website, which you can check out from here. This is the same thing, installing Ubuntu on VirtualBox. It is written by one of our authors in 2022. However, more or less the installation steps is the same. And you can also check out other Ubuntu guides from our site linuxfordevices.com, and most of them will be right here to help you. So let me know what you think about the Linux based operating system and Ubuntu overall. It offers extensive customization. You can change almost everything about how this looks according to your preferences, according to your needs. This Linux operating system is Ubuntu. This is based on Debian. And let me know what you think about this Linux based distribution in the comments, whether it is suited for your work needs, whether you would like to try this distribution in a virtual machine. That is it.